The story begins with investigative journalist Mikael Blomkvist, who has just lost a major libel case against a corrupt billionaire. His reputation is damaged, his magazine Millennium is struggling, and his career is hanging by a thread. Disgraced and emotionally drained, Mikael accepts an unusual offer from elderly industrialist Harriet Vanger. Henrik wants one thing: the truth about what happened to his niece, Harriet Vanger. 40 years ago, during a family gathering on a remote Swedish island owned by the Vanger family, Harriet vanished without a trace. The bridge to the island had been closed due to an accident. No one could leave. No body was ever found. Officially, the case went cold, but Henrik believes someone in his own family murdered her. Mikael moves into a small cabin on the island and begins digging into decades-old photographs, diaries, police reports, and interviews with bitter family members. The Vangers are wealthy, divided, and deeply dysfunctional. Old Nazi sympathies, business rivalries, and personal grudges poison the atmosphere. Everyone seems to hide something. Meanwhile, we meet Lisbeth Salander, a brilliant but socially withdrawn hacker with a photographic memory and a dragon tattoo across her back. Lisbeth lives on the margins of society. Legally declared incompetent as a child, she is placed under state guardianship. Her new guardian abuses his power and sexually assaults her in a deeply disturbing scene. But Lisbeth is not helpless. She secretly records the assault, later returning to confront him. In a chilling act of calculated revenge, she tattoos a confession onto his body and blackmails him into giving her full financial control. From this moment, we understand who Lisbeth truly is. Not a victim, but a survivor with razor-sharp intelligence and zero tolerance for injustice. Initially hired to investigate Mikael's background, Lisbeth becomes intrigued by Henrik's case. She contacts Mikael and offers her hacking expertise. Together, they form an unlikely partnership, the disgraced journalist and the wounded genius. As they examine old photographs from the day Harriet disappeared, Lisbeth notices something crucial. In one image, Harriet appears frightened, looking at something outside the frame. When they enlarge the picture, they realize she was looking at someone she feared. Their investigation uncovers a disturbing pattern. For decades, women across Sweden were brutally murdered. Each killing corresponds to verses from the Bible. The crimes appear ritualistic. The evidence points towards someone within the Vanger family. The tension builds as Mikael gets closer to the truth. Eventually, he is lured to the home of Martin Vanger, Harriet's brother. There, Mikael makes a horrifying discovery. Martin is the serial killer. He inherited violent tendencies from their father, who had also murdered women in the past. Martin has continued the killings for years, capturing, torturing, and murdering victims in a hidden basement chamber. Martin captures Mikael and calmly explains his crimes while preparing to kill him. The scene is suffocating, methodical, cruel, inevitable. But at the last possible moment, Lisbeth arrives. She crashed her motorcycle into Martin, saving Mikael. A desperate car chase follows through snowy roads. Martin's car flips and bursts into flames. He dies in the fire, ending the cycle of murders. But the greatest mystery remains: what really happened to Harriet? After analyzing financial records and hidden clues, Lisbeth uncovers the final truth. Harriet did not die. She escaped. Years ago, Harriet discovered her brother and father's crimes. Fearing she would be next, she faked her disappearance with the help of a relative and fled the country, building a new identity abroad. When Mikael and Lisbeth track her down, the reunion between Harriet and Henrik is deeply emotional. After 40 years of grief, Henrik finally learns that his niece is alive. The mystery that haunted him for decades is solved, not with death, but survival. Meanwhile, Lisbeth secretly investigates the corrupt businessman who destroyed Mikael's reputation. Using her hacking skills, she exposes his financial crimes and delivers evidence that clears Mikael's name. Justice, in Lisbeth's world, is personal and precise. In the final moments, the emotional weight shifts. Lisbeth, who has quietly developed feelings for Mikael, buys him a Christmas gift, a symbol of connection. But when she sees him reunited with his former lover and business partner, she hesitates. Without confrontation, without drama, she throws the gift away and walks into the crowd alone. The ending is powerful because it is quiet. The mystery is solved, the killers are dead. The innocent are freed, but Lisbeth remains isolated, brilliant, damaged, and independent. The film closes not as a simple crime story, but as a meditation on trauma, corruption, misogyny, and resilience. It shows how evil can hide behind wealth and respectability, and how sometimes the most broken people are the ones strong enough to expose it.